Group Manager for Strategy and Business Development. Any new over 25,000 travel. In terms of we believe in empowering women. So most of the leadership team global financial crisis, especially the dollar
that has specialized and started specialization in certain.
We saw no traffic and we have been trying.
Chief Commercial Officer for AirAsia Group. Bangladesh via Thailand with now a daily flight coming from Bangkok. For us, Bangladesh is not just about labor traffic going out. This evening, we are also having a meeting with the Ministry of Tourism to go and understand how we can actually bring back tourists, businesses, MICE events, conference events, and bring them into Bangladesh as well. So as we can imagine, for Malaysia, all the traffic rights, the bilateral traffic rights are exhausted. We are hoping that other than just having one-way traffic bringing laborers and people out of Bangladesh, I would like to also go and start stimulating how do we go and bring visitors, travelers, businessmen into Bangladesh. So that is our key reason for visiting here. Obviously, with the resumption of China, we are basically putting a lot of our capacity back into China. We used to fly pre-COVID about 350 flights weekly to China. Now, as we start resuming the business, we are looking at how to go and reactivate all our partnership. And that's why Suli is also here, talking to the various travel agents and business partners. On the far left is Melissa. Melissa is a group manager for strategy and business development. Any new route that we are looking at, Melissa will be doing the feasibility tests. And you can see here in this room, AirAsia, we believe in empowering women. So most of the leadership team are actually female. So maybe before I start focusing on Bangladesh, allow me to go and talk a little bit more about our group vision and our group mission for the next 5 years. Pre-COVID, we have already been the number one in terms of carrier, being the number one carrier in Malaysia and Thailand for domestic. We are definitely number one across ASEAN for international cross-border traveling. We are the largest foreign carrier going into Singapore. We now fly 11 times daily into Singapore from Malaysia. We are the largest foreign carrier going into China. We covered 16 hubs in China pre-COVID, and with basically the resumption and the borders opening, we are planning to also restart that. How does Bangladesh and the subcontinent of India play a role? Our vision and our mission statement is about connecting people and connecting places. Low-cost carrier has to be very good in point-to-point, right? Flying from point A to point B. For AirAsia, our strength is not just being efficient in flying from origin to destination. Our strength is being able to connect, fly beyond, connecting onward to different destinations, leveraging on the network that we have, not only for the short-haul business. How we classify short-haul business: Malaysia AirAsia, Thailand AirAsia, Indonesia, Philippines AirAsia. Anything within 4 hours we classify short-haul. But our organization, we also have a long-haul business covering Japan, Korea, China, like Beijing, as well as also Oceania, Australia, New Zealand, and also India. Majority of our traffic going into Australia, over 60% are basically from the Indian subcontinent. So we are basically leveraging on the breadth of our network to be able to go and connect people to places. That's where our strength is. So it's about the breadth of our network and the ability and the frequency of our flights to go and connect. If we talk about the Bangladeshi diaspora, I understand that there's over 1 million Bangladeshi living in UK. I see a lot of them. I'm from Australia myself. There's also a lot of Bangladeshi living in Australia. And I also know that there's a lot of trade that's now happening with Japan. We are now flying to Japan, to Tokyo, 14 times daily. 14 times weekly, daily from Malaysia and also daily from Bangkok. So that's where we can actually go and support the Bangladeshi economy by bringing businesses into Bangladesh, as well as also driving and promoting tourism as well.
Okay.
In terms of macro outlook that you mentioned on both fuel and forex, yes, there are definitely headwinds. Whilst we are talking about recovery, we are looking at basically the fuel price from last year Q4 from 130 US. We are now stabilizing at between 108 to about 115. So it's actually in our favor. We are seeing a stabilization of basically fuel as well as also USD forex. The high between $1 to 4.4, 4.5 ringgit, we are now actually setting at about 4.2. So these to me are basically upside for the business. And the reason why we can actually, claim to be the 13th year best low-cost carrier is because of our economies of scale in our operation. Does any one of you know how fast is our turnaround time? From landing in Dhaka airport and then taking off again, what is the block time? Does anybody know?
Total time.
Turnaround time
Turnaround time.
About Euro.
is 25 minutes, including loading of the passengers, loading new cargo, loading new passengers on board, and the cabin crew cleaning the plane. We don't actually use third-party operators to clean the plane. Our crew are trained to multitask. That's why we are able to be the low-cost carrier, because we actually operate very efficiently. Not only on operational efficiency, majority of our business is coming from our own direct e-commerce platform, AirAsia.com. We are not actually on any GDS. We do not have to go and leverage on any other OTA. 70% of my traffic comes directly to AirAsia. Because of the brand that we have over 21 years, I do not have to pay any incentive. I don't have to pay any commission to anyone, and I would be able to go and sell my tickets. That's where the operational efficiency and driving top line comes from.
Hello, my name is.
Yes.
Another is, do you have any attraction offer for tourists in our country people? Because our maximum tourists, Thailand, Malaysia, they are going after COVID period. Do you have any offer or attraction for any package for tourists in our country? Thank you.
So there's two questions there. Sorry, what's the first question?
First question is, do you have any incentives for the tourists?
Yeah. So a lot of people will ask, how can you actually be a low-cost carrier? Low-cost carrier definition is not about low service and low quality. Low-cost carrier is about only offering what consumers want. If you do not want to go and have a 20-kilo baggage, I will not charge you for it. If you don't mind sitting in the middle seat instead of the aisle seat, I will not charge you extra. That is the model of low cost. Now, when we talk about how can we service Bangladesh better, it's by actually increasing the frequency. By actually having frequency, we are amortizing the cost. We are amortizing a lot more cost, offsetting basically a hub here as well. We are also operating larger aircraft now. Instead of basically A320, we are now also operating A321s, right?
21s, yes.
Yeah.
Still 21s.
And we are also having plans to go and operate A330, which is from an A320 with 186 seats, we are now looking at 377 seats. That would actually increase the capacity and then also amortize the cost of actually having to fly those 4.5 hours into Bangladesh from KL. So for us, the model is about being brilliant at basics. We are no frills. I don't want to go and offer my passengers in-flight entertainment. Why do we even need to go and have a screen and show you movies at 3 years old when everybody already have their mobile device and you can already download whatever videos you have? All those frills come at a charge, and that's why we are not offering any of that, so that we return the best customer service. We have a huge customer servicing team that's operating 24/7. Today we just announced, I think for those who have actually experienced our customer servicing, we are also using artificial intelligence. We used to call them Ask Ava. Ava has been built on older technology. Today we just launched AskBo. So AskBo is utilizing similar technology as ChatGPT, whereby we are no longer using just natural linguistic programming. We are also preempting questions that will be asked. So we are hoping that with AskBo, the customer service time should not longer be 20 minutes. We would be able to go and respond to any of the queries that you may have in less than that time frame. So I think that's your first question. The second one, in terms of how do we go and promote Bangladesh as a tourist destination, that's why we are having a meeting with the Minister of Tourism this afternoon. I feel that for a lot of the carriers operating into Bangladesh, it has always been a one-way traffic. It has about been bringing, population out, and then maybe not bringing as many of the travelers in. I actually feel that there's a lot of great things going on for Bangladesh. You have some of the longest beaches in the world. How do we actually go and start educating customers about your beaches? How do we start talking about pilgrimages? And I'm not just talking about Islam. What about some of your historic relic sites for Buddhism? I think there are so many different things and historic landmarks about Bangladesh that we have not been able to go and promote across ASEAN. It's about time that we actually go and put a program together. AirAsia is well known for being a very well-oiled marketing machine. My team on the left-hand side would tell you, we turn around marketing campaigns in less than a week. This Friday, please be on the watch out. We're doing another major campaign. And we would love to be able to go and put Dhaka as one of the destinations, not just so much for about getting laborers out, but for bringing people in. You have some amazing conference centers, some really, really large conference centers in Dhaka. Other than for garment trading, why can't we start doing technology? How can we actually start talking about Bangladesh to be the next Bangalore, to be the next Silicon Valley in the subcontinent of India? Why can't we be organizing hackathons? So these are all the things whereby private-public partnership are very, very important. What is the government doing to support? How can individual corporations like AirAsia be facilitating the logistics, as well as also bringing a lot of the big corporation that's working with Bangladesh to go and discover the beauty of Bangladesh?
Hello, this is Badun Biplab. I work for the Asian Television. You already know that our airport, the third terminal of our airport, of the Shahjahan International Airport, is to open within the shortest possible time. And you already talked about the expansion of AirAsia in Bangladesh. And I would like to know, do you have any suggestion to our government to develop our tourism sector? Like, Cox's Bazar is the largest sea beach in the world, so far as we know. And do you have any suggestion to our government to, already you faced immense traffic jam today. Do you have any specific suggestion?
Yeah. I don't think I would be able to answer all the questions. I'll leave some to Moshed and also Musikir, but maybe I'll start and please jump in as well. In terms of the third airport, when we came in the night 2 nights ago, we were very excited. It's a beautiful airport building that we see, and we are already in talks to go and discuss how can we actually go beyond just Malaysia and Thailand. What are some of the other countries with beautiful beaches that we can actually bring Bangladeshi to, as well as also bring people who actually would like to go and commence trading or maybe enhance a further trading with Bangladesh. I think Philippines is a destination that we can fly to, and so is Indonesia. So we are looking at leveraging our existing network within ASEAN to further go and do feasibility studies on bringing ASEAN into Bangladesh. How can we actually bring ASEAN even closer to Bangladesh, not just for India, but also to Bangladesh? So with the third development of the airport, I think they would actually allow more base, more capacity, even though I understand that it's operating on the same runway, but basically having a much better experience for foreigners coming into Bangladesh. In terms of traffic jam, I think this is not something that is unique to Bangladesh. If you go to Jakarta, if you go to Manila, if you also go to Bangkok, around this timing, same thing. And I think this is basically part of the growing pains of a developing nation. And I think rather than, seeing it as, something that it's, and something that's negative, for any country to grow with such population size, I think this is something that we come to expect. I see a lot of above ground infrastructure being built for your metro. I think that is already going in the right direction. I also understand that, other foreign countries, whether it's China or Japan, already building a lot of infrastructure on roads. I think Bangladesh and Dhaka will become a great nation. Mr. Mojibo told me that you have one of the biggest, you mentioned about the biggest highway, definitely within the subcontinent of India, 12 lanes, right? 6 on each side. So I think there's a lot of things that we can shout about for Bangladesh. Yeah. I'll pass it to.
Any other questions?
As you know that the Indonesian High Commissioner recently met with the Civil Aviation Authority for revising the air service agreement so that we can have more flight. So what kind of program or plan or market expansion plan you have vis-a-vis Indonesia and Bangladesh? Is there any possibility to go for a direct flight only for the tourism or a specific program, even the boutique service like health services there, kind of medical, herbal medicine is very popular. Many people wants to go there. So do you have any plan for luxury tourism like stuff for Bangladesh and Indonesia? Thank you.
Yeah. So like between Indonesia and also Bangladesh. But if you look at basically our operating frequency, we are already flying 4 times daily, whether it's 3 times from Dhaka going to KL, or 1 time basically from Dhaka going to Don Muan. From KL going to Jakarta, we already have 7 flights daily. So the fly-through is already happening. So we are already connecting Bangladeshi to the rest of ASEAN via fly-through. Now, when you mention what are specific niche segments, medical tourism is something that AirAsia believes strongly in. Penang, other than KL, Penang is another state of Malaysia. The top countries that is going into Penang for medical services are basically Burmese and then Indonesian. They go there for normal body checks. They go there for more advanced cancer treatment, for eye treatment, for fertility treatments. I also feel that there is a huge opportunity for us to go and connect Bangladesh, whether it's into Malaysia or whether it's basically connecting to Jakarta, to go and connect that part of the business for medical tourism. We also believe that student traffic is another area that we can explore. I understand there's a lot of Bangladeshi students who would be exploring overseas studies, especially for tertiary education. Whether it is to Malaysia, whether it is to Singapore, we would also like to go and understand where else. For Philippines, learning English, I think it's a huge business for, having English studies, having, overseas education. For Indonesia, we need to further explore whether there's traffic for students. The one that I feel very confident in is about pilgrimage. Right now, we are taking a lot of Indonesian via KL to go to Jeddah. Is there an opportunity that we can also divert the traffic from Indonesia to go to Bangladesh, and then from Bangladesh to go to Jeddah? So I think that is another opportunity for pilgrimage travel, Umrah and Hajj, that we can explore. Anything you would like to add?
The routes that we've been exploring, it is in a very preliminary stage. So we're figuring out what are the ways we can we are finding out the facts and figures and figuring out how we can make this a profitable venture and also a profitable route. So this is something that we are considering. It's in high consideration, and it is in priority at the moment. And definitely, once the ASES is revised, we will take a deeper look into it as well. So this is something, and from the statistics that we have collected, we are somewhat confident about it. And I think the more further study we do, that will give us a more accurate and a concrete result on what to do and how to move about. But nonetheless, we are very excited about connecting Bangladesh with the ASEAN, and I think Bangladesh being a manufacturing hub and ASEAN is a manufacturing hub that has specialized and started specialization in certain sectors a long time ago. There are a lot of in the future there will be a lot of technical collaboration, a lot of trade and business between. So connecting Bangladesh with ASEAN will enable the smooth transfer of technology, transfer of people, transfer of knowledge and know-how, and this is something I think AirAsia can also play a very big role in connecting, because any connectivity is like your nervous system. You connect and the blood will flow. So that is exactly what AirAsia is really good at doing. Painting the skies red as well as painting the roots red.
Thank you for coming by, and I would like to wrap up with the entire situation. We are really sorry and apologize for being late again. And to add up with, yes, traffic jam is what we see is not negative actually. Because during the COVID we saw no traffic and we have been crying like why there is no traffic. So today when we see traffic we feel good that people are moving, there is movement, there is business, and the country is going forward. By that note we end it well, and thank you very much for coming by. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Thank you.